Hello and welcome to Real Person Reviews. I'm Sam and I'm a real person. And today I want to talk to you about Picross S for the Nintendo Switch. It's well, you get the idea probably already, but not a lot of preface here. I guess I guess I'll do an intro, a quick rundown of Picross if you're unfamiliar. Picross puzzles are also called like nonograms and a bunch of other names. Pictures, I think there's like pictures by numbers. And there's a bunch of different names for basically the same concept. And these are where you go in and you'll see when you watch the video. I think. There's tutorials in the thing as well, but essentially it's like a logic puzzle. You have a grid, and on the rows and columns you'll have numbers. So if it was like a 1, a 2, and then a 3 in a row, you'd have to have one square filled in, followed by at least one space. Then you'd have to have 2 consecutive squares filled in somewhere, followed by a space. Then you have to have 3 consecutive squares filled in, all within that area in that order, the 1, then the 2, then the 3. So it's all a logic puzzle about figuring out, between the rows and the columns, where things have to go, where things can't go, and eventually going down the logic tree, you'll figure out where everything eventually goes, usually get some kind of picture. So there's that, and there's also a variant of Mega Picross, which I'm seeing a lot of games throw out there now too. So, spoiler, this has that too, where essentially there'll be 2 rows or 2 columns that have like a really big number that takes up 2 of them, basically. They'll still probably have individual numbers around them, so it still has to be in the same order. So you use the logic thing of like, these numbers, have to be like, oh, there's a big number as a 4, or if there's like, like a 1 and a 2 in the top row and like a 1 and a 2 in the bottom row, those things couldn't touch each other, but have to be before the big 4 that has to go between both rows. Again, I'll maybe try to get it both in there. Maybe you can look it up. You can play the game. There's tutorials they'll show you. But those are things in the game. Basic idea of Picross, logic puzzles. In the same kind of vein as almost like Sudoku, but just a different way of doing it. And obviously it's not Sudoku. It's Picross. But okay, that's enough explanation. That's enough of a beginning thing. I think there's gonna be a written thing too. And I don't know. I've talked about Picross games before. This is like Jupiter. They make most of the prominent Picross games for Nintendo systems, I believe. So you're probably already familiar with them if you've played some of these. But I just thought I'd explain that since, maybe you haven't played it on a previous system. Maybe you just got a Switch. So this is, this is a Picross game on the Switch. I presume that's what the S means, but I don't know. So let's get into it. So like I said, Picross S is a Picross game. Like you'd expect of Picross. And some of the other features here, along with Picross and Mega Picross, you have, what is it? You have 150 different puzzles. Basically 150 unique pictures to solve. And there are these 10 rounds of 15 each. So each section has like 15 puzzles, and they range from 5x5s all the way up to 15 by 20s for the grid sizes. And also there'll be a little timer. It'll show you your time. It can show you how many things you've filled in so far and everything as you're going. There are assist options, so you can have things like have it at the beginning of it. You can have it automatically solve one column and one row for you to get you started. You can have it automatically correct, wrong placements, incorrect things that you do. You can have it automatically correct that. You can also have it give you hints on what to do next if you're getting stuck. Or you can turn all of those off. If you do, clearing a puzzle with none of these things on will give you the no assist badge. The last puzzle in each page there, each of the 10 pages, the last puzzle has to be done with a no assist badge, and you have to do that in order to get on to, doing more of these. Like, you have to eventually beat those. But you can only, those last ones you have to do that way. And they also have other option things, like you can customize all the different controls to your specifications, what how you want it to control for, like, moving things and placing stuff and whatever. It also adds in the ability to place these like little diamond markers, have like temporary markers into places. So you're like, maybe something goes here, and you can put it there to kind of test things and know what to get rid of, rather than placing stuff and be like, oh man, what did I need to do, whatever. They have those as well, like temporary markers you can place and remove, obviously. And then the Mega Picross ones, they're all the same pictures, but they're in a different order, and obviously the way you solve them is different because they have different numbers there, different like assortments of things. So the way you solve them is going to be different. You're going to have to use a slightly different logic. They're different puzzles, but not different pictures, is the thing. And then if you beat all of normal Picross, or all of normal Picross or Mega Picross with no assist badges on every single puzzle, you'll get a no assist badge on that mode icon. If you get no assist on all of them in both, you will be given a timer thing. It shows like your total time for I believe it's the total time for your best times of all the puzzles. I believe is what that timer is at the top of the your game select screen. So there's that. And then there's some music options, turning music and sound effects up or down. There's I think a few different background music things, like maybe 3 or something like that for background music choices. Or you can just, obviously the volume thing, you can turn it off if you want. And like I said, there's tutorials in here. You can do those at any time to refresh yourself on how to do things. A whole bunch of those in here. I didn't really do those because I didn't need to, but they are there. And as far as good stuff about this, you have a bunch of these puzzles just, in one spot. You don't have to have a big book full of these or something to do. You can auto-check them if you need to. Obviously, if things don't work by the end of it, you know it's wrong because it doesn't activate the you did it thing. Something is wrong. It'll show you, that something's out of whack. Giving you lots of options for those hints and things. Ways to make it easier. I think that's good. And it's just very slick, nice colors and things to look at, nice sound effects to it. And I was actually, I was pretty impressed with the little marker thing, and the way you can customize all your controls the way you want to. I thought was really cool, even though I don't see much need to do all that. It's kind of cool if you have a preference for what button does what. That's nice that they added it. But yeah, having an extra marker is really, really handy at times. I've used that a few times. I think this time around also I ended up really enjoying just solving these. I just found new pieces of logic that I didn't really think of before. This has to go here. This can't go here. Or if this goes here, that can't go there. I was thinking more moves ahead and that kind of thing. So it was cool. And that's not necessarily this game doing it, but I just wanted to kind of throw that out there because this game did make me appreciate that and start to do that. So I want to give it some credit where credit's due. Pretty good, nice package of stuff here. You get a good amount of puzzles in here. It's you'll have Picross on your Switch. Downsides, well, obviously, do you really need Picross on your Switch? I don't know. Maybe, if you like it on there, I guess. There's just so many other things on Switch. It's a bit of a hard sell. And it did have some performance issues. Not a lot, but near the end, I started having times when it was kind of locking up on me a bit. It was kind of being a little bit laggy, and I have to wait for it to catch up, placing some of the X's or filled in boxes or whatever. I don't really know why. It's possible it's just kind of a weird glitch with my controller, or my system was being weird or something. It's possible, but I don't know. So I kind of have to assume it's probably the game. Somehow. It could be because I left it on for a long time too. I don't know. But I think I restarted it and it still had the issue, so I don't know if it's really that, but it might have a few little performance issues. I kind of wish there was more background music choices, but ultimately I just ended up turning it off because it got kind of repetitive after so many puzzles. I also really wish they had different pictures for the Mega Picross ones instead of just recycling the same pictures, because then when you solve a Mega Picross one, it's nice and all. The fun part is solving it, I suppose, but also there is a little bit of fun in trying to guess what the picture is before it goes full color and tells you what it is. And you can't really do that because you already kind of know, because it's going to be one that I've already had before. After you do a few of them, you're oh yeah, these are things I've already done. So obviously this is going to be something I've done before. You easily figure it out from there. So that's a little bit of a shame. But yeah, it's I don't know. It ain't perfect. It ain't the perfect Picross game. Okay. That being said, it's not a bad Picross game. I mean, it doesn't do anything real crazy with Picross that again you couldn't really do. I mean, to some extent, you can't do some of these things with pencil. Pencil and paper doing it. So there's that. It is convenient to have on your Switch. I'll give it that. I don't think it cost that much. I don't remember how much I paid for it, but I don't think it cost that much money. I don't know. It's just one of those. Again, it's one of those where it's kind of hard to recommend unless it's like you like puzzle games, do you like logic puzzle type things. Do you know you already like Picross, or if you want to try to get into Picross, it's not a bad one to start with. It'll show you the ropes, how to play some of this, and there'll probably be more because I believe they still had a series like on the 3DS. I think there was a bunch. I think the DS had a bunch. They just kind of keep making them. You just kind of keep doing them. It's kind of again like Sudoku or like crosswords or something. You can just kind of keep making them and doing them. Once you do all of these, you might have to wait a while until you want to do them again to kind of forget the stuff that was on there. But at some point, you might get there too. So there's some replayability, just not right away. More replayability than buying a physical book of it, also, and you can take it with you and whatever. And I don't know, pros and cons. But basically, I guess the point is, if you think this is going to be fun from what you've seen and what you know about Picross, then it probably is. It'd probably be worth it. But if you think it looks boring, or you already know you don't like Picross, then you're not going to like it. I at least want to give it a few little extra points for saying, like, hey, this is, it's on the Switch now. A lot of people that's their first system is the Switch. Not a bad thing to have, especially for people just trying to get into Picross, but yeah, it's kind of basically you already know. You didn't even really need this review. You probably could have looked at the video on the screen that when you went to go buy it. It's like, let's see the demo video, and it'll be like, this is your Picross, and you're like, okay, but I played the entire thing. God damn it! So it counts as a game beat, and and fuck, I'm counting it. Okay, you can't stop me. It's already on the books. It's already in the bag. So you deal with it. You deal with it.